can sing and dance, and we don't need pants. See, we're just...
Yay! Greg the Bunny, the Singing Mailman.
The Singing Mailman. I'm Drew Massey.
The vampire head.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Hey.
Hey, Drew. Seth Green here.
I'm Dan, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Dan.
Welcome, Dan.
You know us. We're all here.
Some other people here, too.
Sarah Silverman?
Tina Waters?
Silver person, actually.
I'm Victor Yared. And that was my head in the opening shot underneath Tardy the Turtle.
Yes, Victor is in the opening credits.
Because the producer
Every
wouldn't let
week.
me have a monitor for that shot. And it haunts me to this day.
Oh.
I hope you had a monitor here.
I
Looks
did. I
dangerous.
actually
we have
did. This
James?
seemed like it would be much harder to get a monitor. but-
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike
my
McDonald.
God.
Mike McDonald.
Yay.
Yay!
Who actually, we were just talking about this, who is one of the more brilliantly talented sketch and comic guys, and was kind of cut off at every turn in trying to make this his own. He got a lot of very specific instruction about how to play it that was kind of contradictory to the way that he thought it was going to be and kind of the way.
Found him, he was very frustrated.
But he's still brilliant.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Despite it all, I think it came out great.
But it was almost intended to be more of like a soft, realistic.
Let's
dramatic piece
hire
that he was-
people that do things that I am not able to do and then tell them how to do it. There's the basic feel.
On a side note,
Hey, Susan just walked into the studio and then into the commissary.
She's busy gal.
What's that?
yeah,
Got places to go.
I was going to say on a side note, this actually semi-happened to me. In college, I was drunk and naked one night, and somebody took my boyfriend, I think it was my boyfriend, took naked photos of me. And I remember he gave them to me the next day, and I was so mad. I was like, how dare you take these naked photos of me? Promise me you'll never do it again. And then he said, okay. I thought it would be funny. And then I took all the photos and the negatives, and I got mugged.
Oh, my God.
And so somewhere out there's naked photos of me 19 years old.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have your homework assignment.
You just gave the trigger
Oh my God.
to, like,
I know.
our major demographic who are all on the internet right
If you're
now.
looking on the internet, she was Spy-Bee. She was Spy-Bee probably. then.
Right.
I know. It's crazy.
Canvas Crackland, because
It's
they're out
something.
there.
It's something to talk about, though. Lee Shalit Schemmel, who directed this episode, also directed a ton of Spin City and a lot of great TV, was arguably one of our favorite directors.
She
on the
directed
show.
the episode
loved
Surprise
her.
as well.
It's great.
She just was really nice, knew how to handle any of the producers in the network, and was really, really collaborative and informative, and just a great sense of how to make things work if they aren't working.
She had tremendous enthusiasm.
She totally made it fun.
She loved the
Yes.
show.
She just had fun the whole time. It's possible to do that and
And-
not be a schmuck or a douchebag.
Her kindness was contagious, and she was very mothering, I
yeah,
remember.
Brent.
No, Brent and Lee, honestly.
Hey, what about Mike Mitchell?
Hey,
He's-
Mike Mitchell!
Mike Mitchell,
A lot
our
of good
favorite.
guys.
No, we had a great time making this show. I was actually just saying that if the opportunity came up again, I would do it in a heartbeat. I loved working on this. It was just so much fun, and getting to play with all you guys was great.
I should say that Mike Mitchell is off directing a film right now and couldn't join us for other shows, and that Eugene Levy is in Toronto, which is where he always goes. And he's shooting a movie there.
With Marty.
Here's something.
Sorry, I couldn't
Here's
be
something
there.
that should get talked about. Was in one episode, Greg makes a joke about in the narration about the new catchphrase Sketch McGowsey tried to unleash in his third grade class, and from then on, that was his exclamation in every episode.
That's right. We were kidding originally when we said we want to make a new catchphrase and it's going to be Sketch McGowza. And then we thought, well, let's try it. But you need a second season to really add something like that.
Or a really hot DVD.
The consistent demographic. Yeah.
Sketch McCanceled.
Oh my gosh, man! I just read the script for the first Family Guy back, and they make a joke about everything that's been canceled on Fox, and Greg the Bunny's in that list.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, new Family Guys are being made, which shows the power of DVD. So,
That's true.
hint,
yeah.
hint.
That Family Guy was a second run on Cartoon Network and did really great in the ratings, and then they put out the DVD, and it sold like 100 million copies or something insane like that.
That's good
So
stuff.
we're coming back and doing another
Seth
36
MacFarlane's
episodes.
so funny.
Yeah. Genius show.
Yeah, so buy another one of these.
There we go. Now that's actual Silverman hair.
I love your hair in this, Sarah.
It's my hair.
That's the real deal, folks.
And wait, wasn't that your joke too? Didn't you write that joke?
I just thought this was a nice episode.
Yeah, I love when I did this part. Remember this, guys?
God.
Yeah,
I shot though.
yeah, that was good.
Pain in the ass, they stapled my sphincter to the floor, though.
It's heaven. Those
The wheel, the giant wheel.
Love the wheel.
This was one of the
delicious.
silliest bits. I never thought this would work from the script, and then seeing it done, it's so funny.
Yeah.
You guys can.
Yeah, that's all I ever got to say was yeah. I had so much more in me.
You did it so well.
Yeah, so much more like a couple of donuts, huh?
This is one
I'm
of the stuff
big boned.
that in between the scenes was the funniest shit.
We're gonna show some of that too. We've got some outtakes for the disc.
I got your suck nozzle right here, sister.
Can you say that? Can we say?
Brilliant improv by James Murray.
Yep.
Got your suck nozzle right
Those
here.
hamsters are so cute.
Look how perfect Eugene's hair is.
Yeah, and those brows.
It snaps on like Legos.
This is fun. This was when the powers that be stopped being afraid of Tardy Turtle and actually started wanting him in more episodes. To the point where we almost suffered from putting him in a little too much. But it's great stuff with his little drum kit coming up.
Everything. He's huge. He's got more Tonys than the mob.
Tardy, get off the drums.
Drumsticks can also be chicken.
Now.
But that was another great thing about Lee is she actually encouraged us to improvise, and a lot of the Tardy
Yes.
lines in this whole episode, like the whole pretzels thing, that's a little later in the episode, was just made up.
I'm a rock star.
Tardy.
Dottie.
He is a rock
Dottie.
star.
I like the wipe.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Star Wars.
Borrowed that from George Lucas. Meanwhile, on Tatooine.
These are the puppets you're looking for.
Oh, and by the way, guys, Leo is a little quirky. He'd prefer.
Things got looser creatively a little bit. You know, it's not much, maybe one notch on the belt though, but it meant a lot to us. And we started doing more ensemble shows like this in Surprise. And I think, plus with Lee running things, I think this was a real fun one, and it translated to the final episode. This is definitely a favorite.
This was a lot of fun,
Yeah,
this
I love
episode.
this.
It's nice seeing everybody in the scenes together, you know. It was really, I mean, the teamwork, you know, behind the scenes was so good. It's nice to see it on
I
screen.
love that joke.
Yeah, this being the 12th show, we really had it down by this time too. It was a well-oiled
Just in time to hit the road.
That's right.
That's right.
We're ready to go.
Well, guess I should be hitting the old dusty trail.
Go. Here we go.
Now this was the Willy Wonka entrance.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There was much more of a reference to it originally, where I think he says, well, the reference, I just made it up.
Tina's face is so great.
How about that entrance? You like it? I just made it up.
That's supposed to be the joke, which I don't think works.
Here we go.
I played with this puppet for like 7 hours because it has a little tongue that's sticking out. And every time you open the mouth, the tongue would just sort of fall out of his mouth like, ow, ow.
There's something Bill Freibergy about him.
He has the weight of the writer's room pain on his shoulders.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm playing a mailman, why would I be doing a scene with a dog?
I think him grabbing Eugene's ass was definitely an improv on his part.
Yeah.
And an ape? Third, I am not a dog. But if I were, I would bite you thusly.
I fought this joke. I don't know why. All the writers loved it, and suddenly I was the guy censoring people and going, I don't think Warren should bite anybody. It's big, it's broad, and of course we did it, and it was really funny, and I don't even remember why I had that attitude.
And I'm also the
Maybe it was
PA
contagious.
that's like hanging out on set talking to the guest stars, by the way. That's apropos.
Yeah, but you're the boss's son.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I'm a production assistant, so I do all the behind the scenes. I work in the.
Didn't Drew design some of your T-shirts?
That was in Blah Balls.
Oh.
A lot of those T-shirts were, I think, Charlie's brother. Charlie, he did.
In puppets?
Yeah,
Prop guy,
he
Charlie.
was a
Charlie
prop
Graham.
guy, yeah. And
We
his
kept
Graham.
getting
brother did
just
a lot of that stuff.
like packets of designs that could be on T-shirts. They were all really fun.
We were so excited when we got approval for a Tenacious D shirt. I remember in one of them.
Yeah.
Very cool. Invariably, though, Seth, you had the best shirts.
Yeah, it was cool. The whole idea of Jimmy being a comic artist and being interested in like, you know, geeky things and trying to wear cool shirts and stuff
They
like
wanted
that.
to market those.
Hopefully a bunch of letters and a zippity song.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Mr. Mailman, what's in your sack?
I don't know who wrote this song.
Who's played the piano? Is that Ganj? What was his name?
Ganjo.
Ganjo.
Also appears in Dottie Heat.
There's so many puppets in this episode. They're all over this.
That was great.
He did this like 5 times and it was perfect every time.
At least. I think he did it like 10 times, poor guy. All the way through.
Yeah, and he kept, they're like, you don't have to fall in the boxes for real. And he'd do it every time. Just balls out. Very admirable. And painful.
Tardy's up there eating letters, eating the mail.
I think that's Alan Troutman actually
Performing.
doing Tardy in this scene.
That's when you said, I'm not going up in that
I'm not going to
uncomfortable
that
thing
fucking
anymore.
attic.
That's when you knew you'd moved up a notch. You could make those demands.
It was originally Count Blah's attic, and then somehow I think Drew got tired of going up there.
That was
Tardy's
horrible.
attic towards the end.
And totally unsafe. I mean, it was supported by a couple toothpicks in the front there.
There'd be a grip holding your legs to make sure you didn't go tumbling.
Exactly. They'd have to Makita down the ladder behind it to make it stable.
That's improv, ankles and the knees.
Tardy.
He's so silly.
That was impossible to pick from all his falls.
Okay, I hope you guys were filming, because I don't think I can do it that good again.
And there's a great...
Ironically, he did.
Yeah.
10 more times.
Again and again.
And we're back. Meanwhile, that's a fun shot. It's a little weird, but...
You see, Dottie, you gotta go.
It's so weird, Greg, with those eyes, though. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did they ever run this show in widescreen? Because we shot it.
No, it was shot in high def and also widescreen, but they never did that. I think it aired in high def, but I don't know if it was widescreen or not.
Hey, you guys. Wasn't Leo great?
No, Dottie.
This was fun.
This is where we established Tardy's love for pretzels.
Tardy didn't have any lines in this scene, and Lee just was so cool and just wanted him to say something. She's like, just, say anything in here, just whatever you want to do. And we decided that Tardy loved pretzels.
You really do suck. Hey.
It was always funny having that craft service table because it was always up, and I think it confused
It looked
a lot
so
of people.
delicious, but it didn't taste so good.
No, those are some old chips.
It's all sprayed with like Stay New shine.
I'm sure he doesn't get fired.
Why?
I can't say.
Bob had some fun stuff to do in this one. He's driving us.
Would you give him a friggin' pretzel?
I'm begging.
I remember a lot of stuff between takes here.
Yeah. I love the three of them together, Warren, Blah, and Tardy. They were such a great, because Warren was so mean to Tardy, and Blah just was kind of the grandfather.
You always got the feeling, I think, Warren and Blah hung out, because they were the older set, and Greg and Tardy probably belonged together.
Thanks so much for stopping by.
I love just watching the relationships. I mean, certain relationships really started to develop between characters.
Yeah, I definitely think Gil and Alison have got a nice thing going on now. Like this little bit.
No, you said something about a guy with no arms to play Who's Got Your Nose, which makes no sense to me at all.
Why doesn't that make sense?
Well, just because
It goes to show you. 12 episodes in Lee Shalachimmel.
No, it's the guy with no arms who's grabbing the nose.
Yeah. Okay. How
like
much
that
do you two
face
get paid?
Well, anyway, I can guess why you're
Yeah,
all
Sarah,
here.
your hair looks really good right there.
Really nice
I know,
hair.
because it's
that
just
is some
normal.
good hair.
God, that is
Yeah.
so
Oh my God!
Wow.
Wait, you guys, listen. Dina, your hair looks good too.
Oh.
Yeah, well, if
Hey,
Dottie
Blah.
Sunshine. Originally Polly Sunshine, which was changed for its own sake, probably. I don't know why.
I think Polly Sunshine was trademarked.
You want him to stay?
Was
I love this joke.
This is
the great
music
gag.
and everything. And the Speedy Gonzalez sign off.
when I bring the episode to the network and they hate it, we will have to recast and we'll be reshooting everything this weekend.
I think that's James doing, Greg.
Yeah.
I was going to give flower pots to all of you for Earth Day.
I will be spending.
What was cut is that he's like, damn it, now I ruined the surprise.
Room above my garage, so.
Yeah, but it's worth it, right, guys? I mean,
Wine country. I've actually used that joke since the show.
They had some really good lines.
Come on, guys.
Hey, that French man is great!
Brilliant.
Stupid as ever.
He's just slow.
Somewhere in my garage, I have all that crap, all the sombreros. I remember rooting through the ruins of the prop house.
Yo, don't tell Fox that. They'll come collect it.
No, I believe I was authorized to take most of that stuff. They had already, are you kidding? They had already ransacked it. They'd taken so many puppets and so many things. I got the scraps.
I love that he's just stealing stuff.
Just stealing computer.
And he's taking the monitor.
I
He doesn't
know.
even have the...
No, the rest of the stuff's already in the car. This is a great bit, too. There's a guy named Dennis Woodruff who's famous in Los Angeles for trying to make himself into a big movie star. And he's bought multiple cars and decorated them with his own headshots and giant paper maches of himself. And it's insane.
It's so good.
So we kind of spoofed that with this car.
If you've ever seen Dennis's actual car, this is spot on.
It's packed.
All right, guys. I was sworn to secrecy, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Leo is blackmailing Dottie because he's got a videotape of her stripping for her dentist.
I think this was a much longer sequence as well.
This is a long scene to film. I remember us having a really hard time with this because we were all laughing, I think. Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, got very giddy.
But we got, 4 puppets, me and Bob, late at night, bunch of drugs.
What I remember most on this scene is I was doubling Greg for Dan, and someone took a picture of me. You can see the back of my head, and that's when I first realized I was starting to lose my hair.
Yes, and the
I started
Propecia.
taking Propecia now.
Yes,
and,
I finally caught on to that.
If you haven't tried it,
The blah logo.
I love this. That's one of my favorites.
And we finally figured out that car tows were really expensive, so we shot this green screen. But unfortunately, there was green reflections all over everything, and it cost 10 times more than the tow rig to remove all the errors in the green
Tardy's
screen.
green. What were they thinking?
And Jack's wearing camo.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we assume he had at the ready.
You have a cantaloupe, Tardy.
Oh, I feel better now.
I did manage to keep the cantaloupe.
Now, this motel is on Ventura Boulevard and is arguably one of the scuzziest places I've ever been to.
It was pretty rank.
Here's true Muppet magic. I love that. Just real puppets in a real car.
Puppets in a car is awesome. Wait, what's the one with the paintball where one of you guys farts?
Oh, yeah.
That's right, the paintball show.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Love
And
blah.
blah. Had to fight tooth and nail to use this music because although one of our producers was game for doing the parody, he didn't want to do the music, which didn't make sense because they go together, obviously.
That's great.
That's the face that Tarantino's making.
Mr. Brown.
So we were lucky enough
Mr.
to
Blah.
get that. And of course, guess who's Tardy?
Those sunglasses, too.
This was fun to shoot.
They're so little.
The sofa's so good.
Make love seats, not war. I guess that's Brad's department
So
making that
silly.
stuff. Brad Elliott and Scotty Johnson and Alex
Ferguson.
About what happened with Leo. It's all in the letter.
Little trivia. I was almost 3 months pregnant in this episode.
That's right.
Which I didn't really reveal.
I was
until-
going to ask, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Look how beautiful.
We
the
all
man
knew.
is.
My heaving bosom.
She dotted her eyes with frowny faces. It was good.
Tardy. Someone knock and say he's the pizza man.
Pizza man.
We,
Warren at his best.
We did this over and over and over from every angle.
The puppeteers are actually on the ground here at this disgusting
Well, because we all
motel.
had to run and fall backs to the wall at the same time. So you've got like 4 puppeteers and 2 dudes, all trying to like fit in
Hide
together.
ourselves, yeah.
In order.
All right.
That was fun.
This is actually in a soundstage, though, I think.
And here's the only day I've ever cried in my life. Zoloft tears.
This is a hard day for you, a hard day for Mike. Pressure was on.
Steve Levitan.
He made you cry.
He's giving me shit about learning my lines. I knew my lines, but to me, I thought it was like, as long as you get the gist of it, it's knowing your lines.
Well, not to mention that we got all new pages that morning that no one gave to you before
I
the
didn't know
rehearsal.
that we had new pages, so he's like, "Do you know your lines?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know my lines." And then he made some comment about that, like I looked fat or something. And then I go in there and we go in there and they'd be silent and they'd be like, Sarah, that's your line. And I'm like, what? It was like one of those nightmares where there's a test and you don't know.
Yeah, it was,
and
it was
there were
weird.
new pages and I never got them.
It was weird because you weren't wearing pants either, so it was like 2 different nightmares in a row.
Oh my God, that's true.
We missed the, there's that Texas switch there where Warren gets pulled on a wire rig back into the window.
That was fun.
And then
to
they
do.
switch it out. He ducks out of frame and they switch it out for Warren with tiny electrocuted eyes.
And he's smoking, which was great.
Stunt double, puppet stunt doubles.
So Mike McDonald, he received a lot of pressure on this as well, and was being worked pretty ragged. I think he had to go back to Mad TV, and we only had a little bit of time to get this, and really stressed him out.
Gil? Alison?
Look, Leo, give us the tape.
He was so great in this. It was officially the worst job of his life.
Yeah, we owe him huge for what he went through.
No, there was that time that he had to bag shit at the petting zoo. That was a pretty bad job.
That's a pretty good effect of the outside there. That's Olin Younger making this really look like a location.
But look how sweet the handwriting on the tape.
I know.
Olin did a great job.
Yes, to Ira with love.
I think Olin also lit, didn't do Muppets Tonight.
Gosh, that is amazing outside there.
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
He had a lot of experience with Muppets.
They're so little. Can't take it.
I think at one point Tardy comes out from under the bed and bites him, and Greg pours Perrier down his crotch to cover for the fact that he wet himself. And both those things were cut.
Oh, that's right, the puddle pants.
Yeah. Perrier pants became the gag.
With me up to wine country.
Waka waka. And that's the button.
Good stuff.
The return of the writer.
And Victor
vamping.
Unleashed.
I love that puppet.
This is us just goofing around.
Yeah, this proves Sarah's point.
What?
Puppets, goofing around between.
Yeah.
This is the one time they left the camera on.
And the hamsters would sing, and they had like routines they were doing by the end.
It's hard not to just
so
keep,
good.
The
keep fucking
chipmunk,
around.
the hamsters.
Yeah.
Oh
Did you
my
get a bunch of that
God, it was
hamster
so
stuff?
Good.
Yeah, that's gonna be on this disc, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, doodle doodle doodle.